Hi guys. So currently we're going to be looking at gold on a 4 hour time frame. Right now, I haven't done anything with gold when it comes to this because price hasn't really moved out of any level that shows who's in control. So buyers and sellers could be equal right now as we speak. The reason why I think it's equal is because ever since we sold off the first time, we sold off, we ended up making a low. And then once we made that low, we ended up making a higher low, which is where I got caught in for sales. So right here, when I was trying to sell price back down to here, price ended up making a lower high and then building or a higher low. So this is a higher low and then ended up pushing up to this resistance level. This resistance level has a bunch of sellers sitting here. Sellers are reacting. As you can see, there has been a few reactions where right here, as you can see, sellers pushed heavy. And then as you can see, price came into here and then sellers ended up pushing heavy, right? So now price is trying to work his way up there, but it fell once again. So right now we have a lower high. So this is a lower high compared to the previous one that we had here. So this could be signs of price being bearish, but still we have price making higher lows on the daily time frame. So this is 4 hour, and I can notice that it's the daily time frame because if we go here, we can see that price is building up right here, here, and here, all lower highs. So right now we're still getting kind of both, a mix of both, and we don't want that. We kind of want it to be one-sided. A lot of people are probably going to draw like a trend line or something right here. I really wouldn't prefer that. What you would need to see here is a break below here, indication that price is bearish because it's breaking the higher low cycle. So as you can see, pattern, 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 and then this is breaking the pattern. Have an indication to show that price is breaking that pattern. You'll then probably receive a lower high, either above this level, above the breakout level, or even below it, retesting this level and then pushing back down. So that's something you would want to see if you're looking for sales because you see that lower high. So if you see this lower high here, you know that you're looking for that lower low. So you can get that option, or you can get something where price continues to do that higher low momentum. So we have the higher low, price failed to make a high, but it ends up failing to make a low, and then you try to push for price trying to break out with that momentum. So it can go both ways, which is why I'm not touching it. Just waiting to see what direction is going to have the most pressure. Right now, it could be either one because we have that lower high, but we also have that higher low as well. So in all example, to make this very, very easy for you, you can delete everything off your chart and you can only pay attention to these levels right here. So pay attention to these levels, put an alert right here. Once you put an alert here, put one here, and you can also change this. So click this, come here, crossing up, and then boom, you'll only get alert if it's going above this. And then you can come here, double click, come here, crossing down, save, right? So now you only get alerts when price is either going up above this or below this. And that is the only time you should react to anything in the markets currently when it comes to gold. This is the 4 hour time frame. If we go to the 1 hour time frame, people can be easily misconstrued because here it looks like price is building up an uptrend, but also price is also breaking to the downside. This would cause people to probably sell early, then probably get swiped out, or this could build up an uptrend. People start getting into buys just based off of this, and then it keeps going down later on, right? So don't get misconstrued by the 1 hour time frame because it is a lot going on than per usual. So just be focused on what's clear. The most clear time frame right now is the 4 hour time frame because you can kind of see a glance of what the daily is doing and you can see what the 1 hour is doing. All that 1 hour movement in there is nothing. It's no movement here. All it did was make a high and make a low. All that 1 hour movement you see in here did nothing to the actual market. So don't be misconstrued or don't be convinced on what the 1 hour is doing right now. Focus on that 4 hour time frame. Focus on that daily time frame. Daily's not even moving itself. So you need something to happen on this 4 hour time frame to start everything in the momentum that you need. So that's for the gold analysis. BTC is right around almost the same thing. I'm still super bearish on BTC. There's a lot of things to point out here. So if we go to the daily time frame, we start here. Notice we got that sell-off that we did like a couple weeks ago, like probably like 2, 3 weeks ago. Price ended up selling off and making that indication towards the downside. Ended up making a low, correcting. Once it corrected, it made a lower high, tried to come back down, and now we have a higher low. So this higher low is very important because this is something we want to see break. And the reason why we want to see it break is because it's the same thing as gold. So gold, as you see, ended up pushing up and making a lower high. Same thing BTC did, come up and made a lower high. So this is below the previous high that we had here. So if we was to zoom in, go to the 4-hour time frame, let's see what's going on. So right now, we can see that price pushed up into that level, sellers kicked in, price pushed up into the level again, sellers kicked in. Price is actually rejecting and making another lower high. So we could set an alert for here, come here, crossing down, and wait for price to break below this level. Once price breaks below this level, we could honestly say that this is still going to continue that bearish trend that we're looking for. Honestly, I just think in general it's going to continue that bearish trend because the daily just made a lower high. So right now, if you was to even place a trade on BTC, that would be perfectly fine. Something I would do if I was you would be something right along the lines of this. So I would look for a short, have my stop loss above the previous highs, and then I would look to swing it back down to that 50 mark. That's what I'm looking for. You can first target here, which would be something, I guess you could say, not in the right risk to reward for some people. But if we're looking at everything that we have in our power, so if we're looking at the fact that price touched the resistance, price failed to make a new high, we have a lower high, the daily is bearish, everything is aligning with each other. I wouldn't look at the risk as a whole risk. It's just more of a probability. What are the chances that price finish out building that lower low? What are the chances of price actually making a lower low compared to the chances of price buying up? You could take it that way and then end up swinging for more, which would then bring your risk to reward even more. And then you can scoot this down if you want. So you could do it like that if you want to. That's a good trade. But yeah, this is currently the analysis that I have for what I'm looking at now, BTC and gold. A lot of people want me to trade NASDAQ again, but I personally don't want to trade that. Just because if I'm not mistaken, I'm pretty sure it was very choppy and very ugly the last time I looked at it. So we're gonna go here, come here. Yeah, it was very choppy. So this is the daily 4-hour. We got the 4-hour. Okay, so we could work with something here. We do have this low down here that we could play to. We have price not building any higher than this. So we can see that there's sellers sitting here, obviously. So we could play something along the lines. Let me see what the 1-hour looks like. Uh, and then we have the lowest point here. So we could probably play something where price sells under this level and sells to here. So we can get a good sell from this level to this level. But if price ends up rejecting once it did like here, so you can see buyers kicked in, it stumbled a little bit, buyers kicked in and pushed higher. That could be signs that this level is really strong. So this 1-hour is obviously strong. Anything under here means that the buyers are swept out. So everybody that's sitting here pushing, trying to push price up, they get swept out and price will end up moving to this level, which is a good trade. Other than that, I don't think price is good for buys. It might buy. So if I say this doesn't mean that I'm not like I'm just completely on seller side, but looking at what price action is showing so far, if it does buy, that will be the change of the trend because right now we can see that price went up to its highest point, stalled, sold off, corrected, lower high, and now price is trying to sell off that. So all this being said, these are the analysis that I have for what's going on currently in the market with NASDAQ. Once again, look at this on a daily time frame. It's not really going in any direction compared to how it was a couple weeks ago, going into one direction. So just be careful when it comes to NASDAQ. Gold, once again, we're still kind of stagnant on the daily. Look for those two levels to get broken. As you can see, there's a lot difference. You can tell the difference between trends and when price is stagnant. As you can see, price is stagnant here. Price was stagnant over here too, over here. There's moments where the trend will be a little stagnant, but that just comes with, just trading. Like every day is not going to be a trading day. So you have to really just kind of wait for that opportunity, set those alerts and really wait for those opportunities. So with that being said, I think I'll probably focus more on BTC just because it's a little bit more liquidity going on here. And we can see that price is kind of pushing for a push down. So that's what I'll probably look for the most. And then I'll just wait for my gold alerts to hit. And we'll see how the rest of the week goes. Today is Monday, the 16th. And yeah, hope you guys have an amazing day.